This started when I was 14 years and it continued for years. And she would, out of blue, she would just ask me to come to the next room and she would start hitting me. All that she did was make it worse. She used to give me God's pictures that we do puja at home. And she used to tell me that I have sinned so much in life and God is punishing me. So I want to know why my mom gave this. What made her do this to me? Hi, I'm Padmaja and today I want to share what happened in my life and how it has turned out into a better future and how my pain has been doing good to me instead of pushing me into the trauma and the hell loop. So it all started when I was a kid. I remember before even my struggle started in my life, it started with me always wanting some kind of attention, some kind of love from my mom. And I have a brother who is my mom's team and I am my dad's. So we are two different teams with two different natures and personalities in the same house. So I do remember wishing her and making her greeting cards or, whatever that I could to impress her and gain some kind of attention. I didn't know anything that I could pinpoint that I was struggling with when I was just a kid, but it started with just one incident when I was in 8th class that this girl has told the class, and this news has reached my principal that I got a new expensive watch and I was showing it off to a guy which I might have liked. So this news has reached the principal and the principal called my mom, and there she just went on and on about how at a young age I was looking to impress guys and that I don't have character at very young age. Well, my mom believed the principal. Even when I was trying to tell her it is wrong, I never tried to show off my watch, not even for girls or my best friends. Nobody seemed to believe me. But that incident has changed a lot in my life. So after this incident, I just went back to my class and I was so scared that what my mom would do or say. And I don't know what's the worst that I could even expect that day. But when I reached home, my mom, who is from a village background, who believed that girls at young age should be very obedient and shouldn't even think or have any kind of thoughts about boys or anything about the world, she started believing that I did and I did not have any kind of character. So when I reached home, she just started hitting me. And I knew that it was because she was angry and she believed the principal and whoever told her about me. No matter how much I tried to tell her that I did not do such thing, she didn't even give me a chance to explain or what happened. So she straight away started hitting me. It carried on for half an hour to 1 hour. But then I thought it would cool down her. As time passed, she would forgive me or she would try to give me time to explain what exactly happened. But that never happened. This started when I was 14 years and it continued for years. And she would, out of blue, she would just ask me to come to the next room and she would start hitting me. I did not know what she was hitting me for. And when I asked her why, she just used to say, "You know why." Or just to take out your karma, I would just hit you. That wasn't good enough explanation for me. I was constantly scared when she would be in the mood for beating or with what she would be hitting me with. And it just carried on for years. And I was just hoping that these all would change as I grow up. I concentrated on my studies because I knew that is something that I could find peace. Going to school was like a vacation, taking a break out of these beatings, out of the hell that is happening in my own home. And while this was happening, my dad didn't have any clue because he was struggling with his own chronic depression and his own demons. And if I tell him, I knew that he would get into depression and it would only make things worse. And I wouldn't have any kind of support. So I just stayed calm and I just went on with it for years. And my brother, I remember once when my mom was hitting me and I was crying, he just locked the door and he was inside his room, maybe studying, I don't know what. But he didn't even come out to ask why and what happened. So at that time, I understood that things at home will not change. After a year or two, I got used to this beatings and hitting episodes, but I thought that is it. But then when I started my college, I remember a few days I used to get on the bus, which was 1.5 journey to go to my college. And suddenly in the middle of the journey, I used to feel the blurred vision and I used to have this kind of paralysis where my tongue would just fall out of my mouth without having any control and I couldn't put it back in. So I used to use my dupatta to just cover my mouth and I used to get down from the bus and somehow I used to come home. And after coming home, I used to beg my mom that I don't know what's happening, please take me to doctor. All that she did was make it worse. She used to give me God's pictures that we do puja at home. And she used to tell me that I have sinned so much in life and God is punishing me. So she used to ask me to beg for forgiveness. And I did. I didn't know what I was asking for. I remember telling God that I don't know what I did. Please forgive me. I will be a good girl and I will not do any kind of wrongdoings. Please help me. After a couple of hours, my mom, when she felt it's satisfied enough, it's good enough, she would give me a pill. And with that pill, I used to sleep for hours and get up with a huge headache. And this happened not every day, but once in a month, maybe. And it was all the time when I was going to my college. So this all changed with one friend of mine who has come to visit me on weekend. My mom mixing some pills in the food. She would powder them and just mix it in the food. And she came running to me and told me that, hey, don't eat the food that your mom is getting. She mixed something in it. And I did not believe it. And I just had the food. As soon as I had the food, after 15 to 20 minutes, I started getting the same episode, the same side effects that I used to get. Thankfully, it was Sunday. It was a public holiday. So my mom didn't know what she can do about it because my dad is at home, my friend is at home. I shouted, asked for my dad to help me, and he saw something is happening to me and he was trying to rush me to a hospital where we roamed for a couple of hospitals because it was a public holiday and nobody is taking any patients that day. And this one hospital, which was a maternity hospital, thankfully the doctors saw me and he just straight away asked my dad if I took some poison. And my dad denied it and I denied it. And I was still in the hospital. And my mom came to a hospital, gave the small pill that used to make me sleep for hours. And she told me, don't tell anybody. I will tell you everything about this once you come home. So I want to know why my mom gave this. What made her do this to me? So when I went home the next day, which was Monday, she waited for my dad to go to office, my brother to go to college. And then she told me a story. She did this to me because she felt that I needed a lesson so that I shouldn't be becoming a characterless person. And that explanation was not good enough for me because I know she's my own mom and she shouldn't be doing this to me. So once I knew what was happening to me and why it was happening to me, I knew that I have to get out of this home, my own home. And I was not 18 yet. So I had to wait till I was 18. So in that 1 year, When I was 17 years old, she took me to a marriage bureau, tried to find me a guy and marry me off, but I had to just go with it, and I did. But luckily, the guys who were looking at me, my profile, said I'm not even 18, so they're not ready to get married to me. So that was my luck, but I had to show my mom that everything is okay and everything is cool between us. So I planned my escape for 1 full year. I was constantly looking out for myself. What I eat, what I talk at home, and where I go out, everything. I was constantly looking out for myself at that age. So finally, when I was 18, just 1 month before I was 18 years old, my cousin called me to Bangalore to visit them because it's been so long that I'm not visiting anybody. So she just forced my mom to send me. So there I was. I saw the opportunity. So all that I did was take my couple of clothes, my certificates, couple of pictures of my dad and me, and then I knew I was coming out. So the moment came when my dad gave me 500 rupees to buy some snacks or something in the train, but I knew that 500 rupees is going to be helpful for me. I got my certificates, I got a couple of clothes, and that was it. And my mom came to drop me off in the railway station, and the train was about to move. I know I had to hold on to my happiness. I know I had to stop my smile from coming out. And when the train started moving, she told me, things will change for good once you come back. And she told me that she did something that she's not proud of, but things are going to change. I didn't know why she was telling me that, but it didn't make any difference to me because I know that I had to come out and I am going to come out in just a couple of minutes. So when the train just moved and I was finally inside the train without anybody that I know inside the train next to me, I literally felt the wings. Believe me or not, I could smell and feel the freedom. I knew that I could become anything that I wanted to. And that was the liberation that I felt when I finally reached Bangalore. So I've started looking for jobs. Of course, without completing graduation, it was only the call centers that I could apply for. And I did. And I got the job, but then I had to go to PG with no money. So what I did was, being a South Indian, we have this jewelry on our body, some part of jewelry, right? So I sold it off and I gave it to the PG auntie, the owner. Told her that I'm going to stay at the PG and I would need the food, but I don't have enough money for the food. So I would pay her the next month once I get the salary. And she was very kind enough. And she told me that she knows the struggle of making it in unknown town with no money and no support and no family. And she was kind enough to tell me that I can have the food and I can just pay upcoming month. So that was the first favor that a stranger did it to me. And I will never forget that. And it was only the start of my journey from there. So whatever trauma that I have gone through, that is not me anymore. It has turned me into a successful life coach where I'm able to help women who are in need, just like I wished that there was somebody, a mentor, a friend for me to guide me through life. I am that for women in my life. Today, I'm a successful life coach and a women empowerment lead. And I'm proud to say that I have been able to empower 4,000 women so far. And I'm continuing to do so. One thing that I want to tell you is that the trauma, whatever it is that you've gone through, it always gives you two things in your life. One, the pain and the life of being a victim. And number two is the power source, the infinite, the unlimited power source that you can get the power whenever you want, how much ever you want in your life. And I have been able to come out of that loop and find the power source within me. And if you wanted to do that, this is what you need to do. And my power source has helped me to establish Wiki Wonder Woman, where I'm able to empower a lot of women and help them for free.
अगर आप इस टॉक के एंड तक पहुंच चुके हैं तो मैं आपको जोश टॉक्स का एक दूसरा रूप भी दिखाना चाहता हूं, जिससे मैं काफ़ी देर से जुड़ा हुआ हूं और मुझे बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद है कि वो क्या कर रहे हैं। जोश टॉक्स ने एक नया ऐप लॉन्च किया है जिसका नाम है जोश स्किल्स। अब वो नया नहीं रहा, काफ़ी टाइम से है, लाखों लोग उसको अब यूज़ करते हैं। और जोश स्किल्स पे आप अपनी ज़िंदगी के लिए कोर्सेज ढूंढ सकते हैं। वो कोर्स नहीं जो आपको फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, कॉमर्स, बिजनेस स्टडीज पढ़ाएंगे, वो कोर्सेज जो आपकी जिंदगी में आपको कैसे जीना चाहिए वो सिखाएंगे। मैंने खुद जो स्किल्स पे बहुत सारे कोर्सेज बनाए हैं, पब्लिक स्पीकिंग पे, इमोशनल क्राइसिस कैसे हैंडल किया जाए, अपनी पर्सनालिटी कैसे डेवलप की जाए। हर एक कोर्स में डेली क्विजेज हैं, एक्सरसाइजेज हैं, एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत कम्युनिटी है जो आपको सपोर्ट करेगी, आपको इनकरेज करेगी। आज ही डाउनलोड करें जोश स्किल्स का ऐप और उनके कोर्सेज एक्सप्लोर करके अपनी जिंदगी को आगे बढ़ाएं।
Josh Talks is now a Spotify exclusive podcast. The audio version of our talks will be available only on Spotify. If you like this video and you like to listen to more inspiring stories like this, please follow the Josh Talks podcast only on Spotify.
Tell us what you think about this video and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.